Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN Plus today from Boone, North Carolina. Picture perfect fall Saturday for Coastal Carolina visiting the high country to take on the Mountaineers of Appalachian State. A pleasant good afternoon to you. I am David Jackson alongside Avery Hall. We're glad you're with us for an important Sun Belt East Division matchup. Avery, everybody's trying to stay relevant in the championship race. Overall, Avery has completed 56% of his passes, 34 of 60, 527 yards, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers.
He's been in complete control over the last 2 football games, done a fantastic job of managing the offensive play calling and just really just positioning the offense to be highly successful in the run game as well as the pass game.
Rashad Dubinion takes the opening handoff for Appalachian State. Dubinion just under 700 yards of offense on the year on the ground. Picks up 2 on the opening touch of the ball game. Cole with the reverse, and now he's going to take off. Upfield, he runs across the 40-yard line. First down and more for J.J. Cole. And both of these quarterbacks we are likely to see today, Avery, equally dangerous with their feet.
I tell you what, just a good read by the quarterback. He looks over the field. He sees that everybody's covered. Just decides to run. I mean, he decides to manufacture some yards with his feet. He's a big guy, 6'7", 245, but very, very mobile. That's a smart play by J.J. Cole.
Tight end in motion is Larkins. Pass out on the boundary. And 1-2 missed tackles. Jaden Barnes picks up the first catch of the day for App State up near the 50-yard line, but flag on the play.
Looks like it's going to be face mask on.
Personal foul. Face mask.
On Coastal Carolina.
Number 30.
J.J. Cole, David Jackson, he's just in such control. He's so poised in running this offense. You know, the previous play, he utilizes his legs to manufacture yardage. This time, look, he takes that horizontal passing game, gets it out to a playmaker. And again, Barnes does a good job of making the first guy miss, even though he grabbed his face mask. Good effort for yards after the catch there.
Dante Lunan. Noah Arinze in on the tackle. There is an errant snap play blown dead. There's a false start against App State, and that's fortunate for the Mountaineers as that ball sailed back across midfield.
They were trying to go a little tempo, and Will Flowers may have heard a clap prior to someone may have clapped on defense, but he started to snap that football before everybody was set.
Could have just been distracted by the fans that are still filing in. Tailgating went to about 329 today by our estimation. They are still flowing into what is expected to be another sellout crowd, 14th straight for the Mountaineers here at Kidd Brewer Stadium. Dubinion in the backfield on 2nd and long off the penalty. Cole looking for Dubinion out of the backfield, finds him underneath the numbers to the 34, spins out of bounds. Nice chunk pickup there after the penalty with Dubinion catching out of the running back spot.
A lot of fans are seeing this horizontal passing game. Again, you go out to Barnes on the boundary side, wide side of the field 2 plays before that. Now you come back to Dubinion, a running back out of the backfield in the field side. Again, be mindful of that vertical passing game going over top this Coastal Carolina defense pretty quickly here because they're setting them up for something.
Trig Lewis like an orbiter. Cole across the middle finds Dozier inside the red zone. First down, black and gold. That was a bullet from Cole to Dozier for the first down.
Cole is poised. He knows he's got a decent running game in Dubinion and Lewis. He knows he's got a lot of weapons with Dozier, Stroman, Barnes, and we haven't even heard from Isaiah Cummings today. But he knows he's got a lot of weapons, and he's doing a great job of just being poised, reading the defense, and attacking the defense versus giving them what they, taking what they're giving him.
There's Trig Lewis, his carry inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Tackled by Avion Jones, redshirt junior out of Wisconsin. Like App State, a lot of transfer portal guys, especially on the defensive side of the football. Both of these staffs rotating in and getting to a place of some maybe comfortability with their roster midway through the year. We'll touch on that more as the game goes on. Here's Lewis again, bouncing outside, still on his feet inside the 10, dragging, shot it clears to the 7-yard line. That's a 1st and goal now for App State on the opening drive.
Good job by the offensive line. If they show a replay of this, take a look at this replay. Number 63, Jaden Ramsey comes out and creates a seam for Lewis to run in. Great job by the offensive line. First of all, Caden Sweat knocking his guy off the ball. Will Flowers getting a good angle block on the 3 technique. Good job by the offensive line on that run play.
First and goal, App State inside the 8-yard line. Handoff goes to Lewis again, and this time he is met by just about the entire front of that Coastal Carolina defense. Trey Brown coming in at middle linebacker. Team's leader in tackles, about 5.5 per game. Had a 13-yard fumble recovery earlier this year against South Alabama as well. He's an instigator in the middle of that Chanticleer defense.
Trey Brown and Shane Bruce are very, very active. And now this defensive line for Coastal is a big defensive line. They are 6'5", 243, 6'4", 290, 6'5", 310, 6'6", 272 across that front there.
Second and goal from the 10, and now a whistle and a stoppage, and App State's going to take a timeout here at the 11-minute mark of first half play. 30-second timeout. We will keep things here.
Yeah, you're talking about Shane Bruce. I mean, he you know, he's one of those guys. He's already has a master's degree, so you know he's smart. He's in the middle of that linebackers. Not only is he capable of, you know, helping set the defense up, knowing the down and distance, knowing the tendency, but he can cover, you know, a tight end. He can stop the run. He can jam a big 300-pound lineman. He's just an all-around good linebacker, 6'1", 232 out of Carrollton, Georgia. But he's definitely a slobber knocker in the middle of that defense there.
Defensive coordinator of the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, Jeremiah Johnson, an old Kansas guy, 13th year as at DC, his first at Coastal. He said that last week, you know, we asked him about the conditions and if that played into his play calling at all. He said, hey, defense travels. Just hit somebody, put a hat on the defender or a hat on the offensive player and run to the ball.
He's definitely a no-nonsense type guy. I mean, he says what's on his mind and means what he says, and he's an old-school defensive coordinator.
J.J. Cole motioning to Binion out wide to the bottom of your screen. Cole looking in that direction, pump fakes, and is dropped at the 15-yard line. Had a lot of time, and then all of a sudden the clock ticked away as Trey Brown got to the quarterback.
Actually, we're going to see a negative play. Appalachian State's going to see a negative play again, quarterback sack on that. But that was a smart decision by J.J. Cole. If you take a look here, he has trips to the wide side of the field, twins to the boundaries. No one's open. Everybody's well covered. He probably could have thrown into double coverage, but there was a safety lurking in the middle of the field there. Would have been smart. He just puts it down and tries to get what he can.
Third and goal for App State from the 15. Mountaineers 35% on third down this year, 30 of 85. That's down near the bottom of the FBS Nation in efficiency. Cole with a pass underneath. Got a chance to get to the goal line, and it's in there. Touchdown, black and gold. Davion Dozier breaks the plane, and the Mountaineers are on the board.
Wow, what a great executed rub by the 2 receivers. Dozier coming back inside, and great throw, great protection, great throw by Cole. Nice run after the catch. Nice physical run after catch, because he had to do some dirty work on those last 2 or 3 yards to get into the end zone.
Had first and goal at the 7, converted a third and goal from the 15 to get the touchdown. Dre Pinkney was in coverage for Coastal Carolina. It's Dozier's first score of the day. DeFreitas on to kick the PAT, and he splits the pipes into the Grandview end zone here to our left. Mountaineers see 4 of 4 passing from their signal caller, J.J. Cole. 40 yards on the opening drive, including this one to Davion Dozier. Mountaineers lead at 7-0 at the Rock against Coastal Carolina here in Boone. Sunbelt play on a Saturday from the High Country. Gyrate any way you want to if you're a fan of Appalachian State. That drive, pretty textbook to start things off. 10 plays, 75 yards, took just a shade under 5 minutes. J.J. Cole went 4 of 4 passing, 40 yards in the air. The touchdown strike to Davion Dozier puts the home team on top here in this rivalry matchup on a sunny Saturday here in Boone, North Carolina. We'll get an opportunity to see exactly what Coastal Carolina is going to do at the quarterback spot. It has been a touchy situation all year long. We saw Samari Collier come on last week in the 3rd drive in relief of Tad Hudson, who did not make the trip this time around. We see Collier in at quarterback for his first start. The redshirt senior from DeSoto, Texas. Calm, cool, and collected after he guided his troops to a 23-8 win in the rain last week. Coastal Carolina knocking off ULM. He was much more of a ground threat in that game. He's played some Wildcat this year, but you see the touch passing game starting to come out right away. Kyle Arnholt on the tackle of Javen Simpkins, catching the ball out of the backfield for about a 7-yard gain.
They go at a little tempo here, nicely executed play, but going with the little tempo here, trying to keep this ASU defense off balance, but nice play. With a little motion to the wide side of the field, throwing back to the weak side.
Free play here for Collier as App State looked like they jumped, and Collier going to take off with his feet out to the 40-yard line. Stiff arms a tackler, gets the first down, and he'll probably keep it. The penalty should be against App State for a little defensive jump there right at the snap. Going back to Collier and the feet. That's something that Tim Beck told us right off the jump on our call with him this week. He said, hey, he is a guy that will bring a different element with his wheels to complement the passing game. We saw that kind of based on necessity last week in the ULM game. This is going to be a really true dual threat quarterback that we'll see on the field today.
And when you talk about his wheels, you're not talking about a Corvette. This is a Ford Bronco. And what I mean by that, you know, Collier, he's 6'2", 231 pounds. He looks shifty, he looks small and quick and agile, but he's a big quarterback and he can do some damage. And that's why you probably see Appalachian more in zone coverage today versus man-to-man, because again they don't want to turn their backs to a guy like Collier who can end up scrambling and running around this football field all day today.
So after the penalty, the Chanticleer is across midfield. These two teams have had some great battles, both in Conway and in Boone. Coastal Carolina with 3 straight wins in the series. App State hasn't won a game in the series since 2021, a walk-off field goal at that. Little option pitch, and that's got first down and more written all over it. Again, Simpkins on the catch. Dylan has made maybe a touchdown-saving tackle over on the far boundary. Big pickup of nearly 20.
I tell you, again, they've just had some well-executed plays. Offensive line's doing a good job against the 4-3 front. And again, do a good job of sealing on that boundary side. And just a good pitch by Collier, good run by the running back there.
Simpkins on the first down run, trying to push the pile forward, picks up maybe 3-4 yards. This is a Coastal team that may have found the running game. Went well over 200 last week, but this is a team that does not run the football effectively. DJ, at least that's what their season schedule would tell.
You and I are thinking so much like I was sitting here looking at this first possession, Chanticleer possession, and they're running the heck out of the football. Their offensive coordinator, he's from the Mike Leach coaching tree. He wants to really throw this football all over the field, but they're doing a fantastic job of running the football right now.
Dominic nicely in at running back as Collier keeps, slings, and throws that one incomplete. Intended there deep in the formation for Carmelo English.
Yeah, Drew Hollingshead, who's the offensive coordinator, last year coached at Western Kentucky. Again, he really, if he had his druthers, as we'd say in the country, he would be throwing this football, 60 times a game. But as Coach Tim Beck alluded to, they have to go with the personnel. They have to go with what's working for them. And right now, they're running the football. They had 277 yards rushing last week against ULM.
3rd down and 8 for Coastal, about a 33% team on 3rd down. That's 113th in the FBS arena. Well, listen to him here at the Rock, and now a timeout being called. Coastal Carolina had to burn the timeout. You could give a fan assist for that as the Rock got rocking. And Samari Collier needed a little extra time to think about what the Chanticleers wanted to do. So both teams burning timeouts on their opening possession. Maybe this is conference football, and we're done with all this non-conference stuff. You got to play the chess match from the start.
This is why you work hard January through August. I mean, non-conference is great, and both of these teams have had tough and will have tough non-conference games, because Coastal Carolina still has South Carolina at the last week, I think in October or November, first week of November. But both of these teams have had tough non-conference games, but now it's time to get into the meat of the East Division race. And both of these teams truly control their own destiny, because if ASU wins out, they're Eastern Division champs. If Coastal wins out, and again, ASU, Appalachian State beats Old Dominion, they both will be in that. The winner of this game will win the Eastern Division, put it that way.
8 minutes and change in the opening quarter. 6th play of the drive. Coastal Carolina's gone right at about 50 yards. On 3rd down and 8, Collier drifting back, looking for the corner, and that ball's overthrown. No flag on the play. A lot of contact down there, but the pass was overthrown. Great
job by Appalachian's defense. If you look at the replay, the first level of the defense, they're going to show 3 down linemen, but they rush 5. So you got 5 offensive linemen, 5 defensive linemen, put a little pressure, making Collier throw that ball and not really step into it like he wants to. Defensive back at the 3rd level does a great job of utilizing that sideline as a defender and pushing the receiver out.
Kian Afukte will kick the football from the 33, a 43-yard effort. And just across the crossbar, that one is good. And the Chanticleers get on the board on their opening drive. So Kian Afukte from 43 makes it a 4-point game here at Kidd Brewer Stadium in Boone.
For App State, number 0, about now being number 46.
Homecoming Saturday underway here in Boone, 7-3. Appalachian State leading Coastal Carolina. You see the tribute to number 61, Sean Clark, a Mountaineer alum that spent many a homecoming here at the Rock, both as head coach of the program and as a player, as an assistant coach. Heart's still with his family as we play on a gorgeous day in a rivalry game that has started out just like you thought. Coastal Carolina answers App State's opening touchdown with a 43-yard field goal, 7-play drive, 49 yards, 2:14 off the opening quarter clock. So the chess match begins between these two clubs, and we'll see how Appalachian State responds. One thing that Dowell Loggins might not like, as we see some flags on the kickoff, is the penalty bug. App State had done such a much better job of controlling penalties, only about 26 yards on average over the last 2 games. Already 2 infractions for 15, one of them a 10-yard penalty that prolonged that field goal drive by the Chanticleers to open up.
Yeah, you know, you want to avoid those
illegal blindside block. Number 44 return to 15-yard penalty.
For example, illegal blindside block on a ball that's a touchback. That's not a smart penalty.
Half the distance.
But you don't want to have those mental penalties, you know, particularly prior to snap. But you definitely don't want to have dead ball penalties. But
take a look at the blindside block. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
You got to avoid those types of you know, penalties.
Three penalties, 28 yards thus far.
But the one thing, and again, a lot of people are probably going to boo me when I say this. I do like the energy and the effort.
Boo.
And when you have seriously, when you have some penalties that are effort because of effort, I get that. But you have to eliminate. You can't have 9 and 10 of these a game up to 100 yards. So you got to try to eliminate some of them.
And re-kick.
Well, now they're not booing you. They're booing the re-kick now. So App State will send the special teams unit back out, and Coastal Carolina will re-kick, and this will, I'm sure, affirm the touchback. Maybe there'll be no extracurriculars this time around.
Well, if he's kicking for the 50, he should kick it to Banner Elk if he's kicking from the 50. So
going back to what we were talking about in terms of App State and the penalties, the Mountaineers averaging just 4.5 penalties for 26 yards over the last 2 games. The fewest of the season. They had only 3 penalties against Georgia State. They averaged better than 84 yards a game in penalty yardage in the first 4. We talked with Dowell Loggins earlier this week about kind of that first 4, last 2, and there is a stark contrast. And you're looking at penalties being eliminated. You're looking at better quarterback protection, cleaning up some of the things.
They've cleaned up a lot of things. In that Lindenwood game, they had 3 fumbles, 1 interception. Southern Miss 3 interceptions, 1 3 in the red zone. You had 9 penalties. In Boise, 11 penalties. I think we had like 12 turnovers and 36 penalties in those 3 games. Like you said, in the last 2 games, they've really cleaned it up. No turnovers last week. Again, eliminated or reduced the penalties. Playing much more clean football in the last 2. And Appalachian State has won. So if you clean up those things and play good football, good things happen.
That kick will not quite make it to Miller Hill, but nearly did. Felipe LaForge had that as a goal. He had to have. Let me kick this ball into the seats. Let me go Aaron Judge style from the 50. So the Mountaineers will be right where they could have been had they not had the penalty there on the kickoff.
I tell you what, J.J. Cole's off to a good start. Gosh, 4 for 40 yards and 2 carries for 14. Let's see if he can keep that type of efficiency going.
Cole sending Isaiah Cummings into short motion. Trig Lewis on the fake. Pass out to Cummings in the flat. His first catch today up to the 30-yard line. About a 5-yard pickup on first down. Cummings 8th in the league in receiving coming into play today. Dowell Loggins saying earlier this week he has the traits, he has the skills, he has the body to play in the NFL. Really likes how he's emerged in the last couple of weeks.
I mean, he's been very, very productive. Averaging 11 yards per catch. He rarely drops balls. He runs good routes, whether it's crossing, whether it's that underneath route out in the flats like he just did. Just a good football player.
2nd and 5. Here's Trig Lewis. Right side got tripped up there at the last second. Savon McDowell took him down, sophomore out of Dinwiddie, Virginia. That'll bring up 3rd and short for App State. Go back to Cummings. He was a guy that played at Kentucky, played at Louisville. One of the benefits of the transfer portal, finding the role that he can really showcase his abilities. And that pass-catching tight end spot not available to him really at Louisville. He's found his way into the offensive mix here again over these last 3 ball games now. 3rd and short. Cole, quick release. DeBinion catches, has the first down as he gets about 2 yards upfield from the sticks on the far side, and the Mountaineers move the chain.
Pretty good play call. And if you take a look here, Appalachian motion to the wide side of the field, it throws back to the boundary with DeBinion. Again, if that cornerback takes 1 step to the right inside, that gives DeBinion a little more space and allows him to get the first down.
Miles Muyong on the tackle. First down and 10, App State from their own 38. Mountaineers moved down the field pretty efficiently on the opening drive. Cole to the air once again. Completes a pass to Barnes, who gets rocked over on the Mountaineers sideline. Jamarion Wayne, the senior out of Missouri, who actually played as part of DJ Smith's defense there, showed his former coach, hey, I still got the skills, man. Made that tackle just about right in front of him.
Good open field tackle in space there. But I will tell you, what fans didn't see was that outstanding protection by the Appalachian offensive line. You got 5 guys in blocking, they rushed 6. You had a couple guys doing a little combo blocking to keep pressure off. Cole once again there.
J.J. Cole with the pass inside the 40 to Dalton Stroman, another Mountaineer first down. That's 8 of 8 to start the ball game for Cole.
I tell you, Coach Loggins, he's calling a heck of a ball game, doing a great job of distributing the football to your running backs in the horizontal passing game. He's gone vertical just like he did to Dozier. He's utilized his tight end. Great job of, kind of mixing in the run game. He's doing isolation run, and also doing some zone running. Pretty good play calling. And I'm not saying it's keeping, Coastal Carolina off balance, but it's giving them a lot to think about.
2-yard pickup on that last play for Rashad Dubinion. Luke Murphy in on the stop. Brings up 2nd down and 8 from just inside the 36-yard line. Cole with the handoff. Lewis started right, came back left to the 27-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 for App State.
That was just power football, DJ. You got a tight end on that boundary side. You run Lewis right behind the big tackle. Jaden Ramsey and the left guard, Caden Sweat. Both those guys well over 300 pounds. Big tight end there, and just power football.
Mountaineers 2 of their first 2 on 3rd down today. Cole to fire through the fingertips of Jaden Barnes. Had the first down gain. And now decision time for Dowell Loggins. That's a long field goal, or it could be a relatively manageable 4th and 4. It looks like they're going to leave the offense out. App State this year on 4th down, 7 of 12, 58%. It's in the top 65 in the country.
DJ, going back to that last pass play, Coles to Barnes, 6'7", throwing to a guy who's 5'8", and he was only 4 or 5 yards away from him. That's a hard throw for a 6'7" guy.
Here's a big moment for the Coastal defense potentially. Cole looking, finds Cummings, releases inside the 20, cuts it inside of the 10, 1st down and more, black and gold.
Man, you talked about Coach Loggins talking about Cummings having the ability to play on Sundays. He looked like an NFL tight end coming across the middle. If you take a look, he comes across in that crossing pattern, and just good poise, good read by Cole, good delivery of the football, throwing it in a place where he can catch it and continue to run. Just good execution by both players.
1st and 10 inside the red zone. Mountaineers 13 of their last 13 in terms of red zone scoring. Rashad Dubinion going to take the whole pile. He's still pushing forward. That's a touchdown. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Nobody blew the whistle, and Rashad Dubinion said, I'm going forward all the way to Pater.
Is that Reggie Bush or Philadelphia tush push? Man, that was the entire offensive line pushing the entire defensive front, 1st level, 2nd level from Coastal Carolina. And man, it looks like they're playing rugby. Let's just move the pile.
See, you say rugby, I was going to say like 4-year-old soccer game when everybody's just, concentrated right around the ball. We'll take rugby, though. It's a little bit more physical. Rashad Dubinion, 12-yard entourage escort to the end zone. DeFreitas on for the PAT, and if that's not a sign of strength here early in this football game, I don't know what is. Rashad Dubinion, let's check it again. He's going to bring everybody. It's homecoming. It's all about gathering with your friends, right? Well, Rashad Dubinion took about 22 of them straight to the end zone to give App State a 14-3 lead here in Sunbelt play at Kid Brewers Stadium.
I love it.
Check it out. Dubinion, his first touchdown of the day, and the Mountaineers lead by 2 scores. Call him about a half-yard short, but Samari Collier showcasing the wheels. He had a 39-yard touchdown run that broke last week's game open in the win over ULM. 88 yards rushing on 16 carries on the season. And Coastal will indeed punch it across with Collier for the first down gain. So on 2nd and inches, Coastal moves the sticks.
When you can produce 9 yards on a run, your first run,
Officials timeout.
The offensive coordinator is going to continue to call that number, and that's what he's doing. He's going to probably utilize the legs of Collier as much as possible, because they must feel that's the best chance they have to win. And again, Collier, if you look at, he's 5 of 15 coming into this ball game. With no interceptions, but only completing 33% of his passes. I'm sure they just think that he's a better runner than thrower.
Well, right now they are concerned about his ability to do either. As Collier goes limping off the field, it looked like he may have taken a shot to his knee. Let's watch it again on the replay. Dragging bodies with him. He may have taken a helmet off the knee or got it twisted there at the bottom of the pile. So now MJ Morris will take over at the quarterback spot. Morris was actually the opening day starter for these Chanticleers. Had more interceptions than touchdowns.
He has 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and was completing only 57% of his passes. So he's had a tough go this year.
Tad Hudson took over for him. Hudson, unavailable today, didn't make the trip. As we see Robbie Washington around the left side, and we'll see how Coastal will try to do this time. They had to make the substitution last week with Hudson going out, Collier coming in. Again, the field conditions dictated that it was a better day to run, perhaps. And Coastal was able to use that to their advantage. Really got their offense out of the garage there. We'll see what MJ Morris brings from a skill set perspective. Spent some time at both NC State and Maryland. On 2nd down, if you continue to get forward progress like that in the run game, it may be a pretty easy choice to make. That's Javon Edwards on the carry, the freshman out of Aiken, South Carolina. 6 carries, 51 yards. Last week against ULM brings up 3rd down and 2.
The coaches were high on Javon Edwards when we were talking with them earlier in the week. They were talking about his ability to run behind his pads, but also make guys miss in the phone booth. But he's 5'10", 192 pound freshman, and they were really high on that kid.
Edwards, top of your screen, pistol back on the left-hand side of Morris in the shotgun. 3 receivers underneath, handoff fake, and there goes Morris for the first down. Carry inside the 40-yard line. Boy, every Mountaineer defender just about bought the fake on the handoff to Edwards, and MJ Morris has it nearly untouched around the corner for the first down gain.
If you take a look at that, that's just MJ Morris taking advantage of a very aggressive defensive front. Now, why is Appalachian State defensive line being very aggressive? They know they've got a quarterback who, if they can stop the run, they've got to, and make this game a one-dimensional game, they've got a quarterback who's had some trouble with accuracy. So again, they're being very, very aggressive up front. Drew Hollingshead, the offensive coordinator, and MJ Morris are going to take advantage of that aggressiveness.
Edwards with a 1-yard gain. This is a Coastal team that has 3 ball carriers that have played in this game already that average better than 5 yards per game. Edwards better than 6 yards per game coming in to this afternoon's action. Now it's Morris looking to throw, completes one over on the sideline, and then some to the 5, cuts it inside. That's a Coastal touchdown. Malcolm Gilly, the late shimmy move, and the Chanticleer is in the end zone for the first time today.
That really poor tackle. Again, you've got a pass where they're thrown out in the flat. Wide receiver catches the football. Malcolm Gilly, if I'm not mistaken, 6'1", 202 pounds. He's a pretty good sized receiver, but he makes 3 or 4 Mountaineers miss, and you just had sloppy tackling on that play.
34-yard touchdown strike to Malcolm Gilly, the first passing touchdown of the year for MJ Morris. It could not come at a better time for Tim Beck and the Chanticleers. The PAT is good, and we've got a timeout on the field with just 30 seconds to play here in the opening quarter. Avery Hall, you see Coastal Carolina strike back, and that is conference football at its best. A little bit of you do this, we'll do it too. And Coastal Carolina needed that score and got it.
Coastal Carolina has played well here. Think about this. Hey, Coastal Carolina's 4-1 in the last 5 ball games. They beat Appalachian here in 2023. They're not afraid. They're going to come here and they're going to play their brand of football, and it's going to make for a great football game. The key will be, David Jackson, how does Appalachian State's offense perform? respond. Now, they've responded well to Coastal's first field goal, first score opportunity. Let's see how they perform or respond to this score.
Well, Malcolm Gilly, his first touchdown in Coastal Carolina teal. Ball State transfer. Gets the Chanticleers in the end zone for the first time today. That was a 7-play, 65-yard drive. A little bit more than 2 minutes and 45 seconds off the first quarter clock. We might be here for a while with the frantic scoring pace. Kickoff by LaForge away. It'll sail out of the back of the end zone, and the Mountaineers will bring it out.
DJ, we probably didn't expect anything less. I mean, you got two Sun Belt East Division football teams that develop a pretty competitive rivalry, and again, Coach Tim Beck's 2-0 against this Appalachian team, so he has a lot of confidence. His players have a lot of confidence, and again, Appalachian should be hungry because they've not won in this series since October 20th of 2021. Am I correct there?
That's right. Walk-off field goal by Chandler Staten in this building. The last win for App State in the series. J.J. Cole, 9 of 10 in the passing game. He's trying to change that. 94 first quarter yards thus far. His Mountaineers lead by 4. Well, play action fake to nobody, and then the pass dropped by Cummings at the 35-yard line. Cole went to do the old, hey, I'm going to fake it to this guy, but there was no guy there. Pretty obvious pass play. Cummings just dropped it. That was probably a first down gain after the catch.
Yeah, and you know, Cole had a little pressure on him too, which made for a little errant throw. Not an errant throw, but a throw that was a little ahead of the receiver. And again, he just couldn't catch up to it and couldn't pull it in on his fingertips there.
Second down and 10 for the Mountaineers from their own 25. 25 seconds left in this opening quarter. There's a pass over on the sideline underneath the numbers, and that is Dalton Stroman on the ground.
Dalton Stroman did a good job of finding a nice little hole in that zone coverage and did catch the football. So great job by Dalton Stroman on catching the football. He had a case of the dropsies last few ball games, but did a good job of reeling that one in.
That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. App State elects not to get one final playoff, and we get through this first 15 minutes relatively even. Both of these teams finding points. The Mountaineers, Coastal Carolina mixed in a field goal in there. App State with a pair of touchdowns. Coastal kind of got their mojo offensively with a 34-yard strike to Malcolm Gilly there late in the opening quarter, but both teams moving the football. App State with a slight edge in total offense, 152 to 104. The Mountaineers have been pretty efficient on third down. They are 3 of 4 as Ramsey gets up, and we'll get some assistance over to the Mountaineer sideline. He has been dinged up a bit over the course of the last few weeks. We'll see if he can hop back in there a little bit later on. Both teams dealing with some offensive line issues on the Sun Belt participation report. Both Zach Elam, the starting center, and Joseph Hansen, the starting right tackle for Coastal Carolina, were listed as out. Now the Mountaineers with their left tackle going out. We'll see how the big guys in the trenches respond.
Ramsey's played very, very well for this Appalachian offensive unit, manning that left tackle position. And he'll be missed, but again, that's 2 tackles. If you look at Poindexter, that are out right now.
Donnell Nix Jr. is taking over that left tackle spot. We'll see how Coastal Carolina works that defensively. Here's Cole on first down and 10. Handoff to DeBinion. Will take a path off that left side and get stood up pretty much right at the line of scrimmage. Good job there by Coastal Carolina to sniff that out.
Yeah, Amari Notice does a good job. Really, Zeke Campbell, Amari Notice, Sawyer, Gorham Welch, those guys did a good job relative to gap responsibility. Really didn't give DeBinion a seam to run through. He was trying to run that isolation power play. They were not having it. Everybody covered their gap there.
Second down and 9. Cole looking to pass. Off to the outside. It's Lewis, sheds a tackler and gets the first down yardage after the fact. Well, that was a missed tackle by Jamarion Wayne that could have stopped Lewis short of the line of game, but he fought through it and moves the sticks.
Take a look at that. Good throw, good catch. great job of making that first guy miss and then just continue to get in the yardage after the catch. Good job by Lewis. Good effort on his part.
It's Lewis's first catch of the afternoon. The Mountaineers have worked to now 6 different receivers in the ball game. First and 10 near midfield. Play action fake. Cole across the middle again, finds a man in stride. That's Sanchez for a first down gain, and another great pass from Cole on a dime.
I tell you, Cole has really played impressively. I mean, DJ, is he what, 12 of 14 now? Or
12 of 14.
12 of 14. He's doing a good job of going through his read progression, whether it's short to deep, deep to route. His receivers are responding to him. He's putting the ball exactly where, placing the ball where it needs to be placed to catch it. And again, just good poise on Cole's part.
Here's Lewis on the carry inside. Trey Brown grabbing hold of him and minimizes his gain. About a 3-yard pickup to the 30-yard line.
And you know, we talked about Cole. I mean, he's doing a great job of utilizing all of his weapons. I mean, David Jackson, you just mentioned Alex Sanchez, who's 6'2", 195 freshman out of Grayson High School in Georgia. Again, we've not really talked about him, but whoever's in the ball game, Cole is doing a good job of getting them the ball and getting everybody involved.
There's Lewis again, and this time he's brought down by Brown and Dante Lunan. Boy, Trey Brown has been active out of the Mike linebacker position, and Dante Lunan helps finish off the tackle for loss.
Well, you remember when we were talking to Coach, the defensive coordinator of Coastal Carolina, Jeremiah Johnson. We said, who are those guys that are gonna, if you had to hang your hat on, who are gonna stand out on Saturday? And Trey Brown is one of those guys he mentioned. Trey Brown and Shane Bruce, he said, those are my players there. 3rd
down and 11. Mountaineers 3 of 4 on 3rd down. Pass inside to Cummings, trying to get the corner. May have the first down to the 18-yard line. That should be enough to move the sticks, and the Mountaineers with another plus pickup on 3rd down. That's the 2nd time today they've gone for 3rd and more than 10.
I tell you what, would you want to be a middle linebacker or a Sam linebacker covering Isaiah Cummings, who's 6'4", 240, runs like a deer or runs like a gazelle? Would you want to be the linebacker or trying to cover him as he's doing that crossing pattern? I wouldn't want to be. He's too fluid right now.
That's why I played 3rd base. Handoff to Lewis, and he is stopped by a host of Chanticleers.
And it's interesting when they're in man-to-man coverage, it's going to be hard for a middle linebacker or Sam linebacker to cover him in that crossing route. But he also does a great job of finding holes underneath the zone, knowing exactly where to go. And he runs smoother and he runs faster than a tight end who's 6'4", 240.
3-yard loss on the play. Consecutive runs for loss for App State. Cole with a ton of time to work. He's got Dozier in the corner, but overthrows him. Then Dozier does a nice leap of the photographers down there. They save the folks with the cameras.
He had to get a little plyometric exercise in, jumping over those guys.
So 3rd down and 13 coming up for App State. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the Mountaineers 4 of 5 now on 3rd down, and 2 of those 3rd down conversions have been for more than 10 yards. We'll see how Cole and company respond here. The Mountaineers 1 of 1 on their lone 4th down try.
You got a lot of weapons: Stroman, Cummings, Barnes.
Barnes coming in motion to the bottom of your screen. Cole looking left, going back right. He's got a man underneath. That's caught just outside the 10-yard line. That's Sam Mbake's first catch on the Kid Brewer Stadium turf, and a first down for the Mountaineers.
Another name, another person to add to the toolkit of weapons. First of all, you had good protection up front. Smart read, smart throw by Cole. A lot of quarterbacks will throw underneath and not necessarily get to the first down marker. He threw to the first down marker. The receiver did a great job of knowing exactly where the marker was. Great execution by quarterback and receiver.
Mbake's 3rd catch on the year. Here's Trig Lewis trying to get the right side. Can't get away from Dante Lunan, who has been spying him for quite a bit of time. One of the things Jeremiah Johnson said, that Dante Lunan could bring just a little bit more production, wanted him to be a bit more aggressive from that outside linebacker position. And we have seen him trailing Lewis and other running backs with a bit more of an aggressive pace. So maybe those words from the defensive coordinator getting to player here, as Dante Lunan's had quite a first half impact. Here's Cole on play action with pressure coming to him as he rolls out past the 20. Now cuts back inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. and is run out of bounds, a little shy of the goal line. It'll be inside the 5 where the Mountaineers will have the football.
Cole's a smart quarterback. He's rolling out to his left. Think about this. If you see the play, he knows there's not a receiver that he can throw to and make a safe throw. So he knows he's going to run. He starts directing his receiver to block so I can get as much real estate as possible. That's just a high IQ play.
3rd and goal from the 4. Trig Lewis, the protection back off the left side. That's Barnes in motion. Lines up in the right side slot. Now Cole will check. 5 on the play clock. Cole right. Catch. Reach. Touchdown! Jaden Barnes to pay dirt again, and the Mountaineers have scored on all 3 of their drives here this afternoon.
J.J. Cole showing a lot of poise. Offensive line doing a great job of protecting. Running backs even doing a good job of picking up a blitzing linebacker on that particular play. Nice, smooth throw to Barnes. Barnes does a great job of yards after the catch, getting in the end zone. That's just a well-executed offensive football play.
6-yard touchdown pass. And the Mountaineers can open up the lead to 11 with a PAT here from Dom DeFreitas. Good snap, good hold. And the Mountaineers are 3 for 3, all touchdowns thus far here at the Rock on this Saturday. Beautiful pitch and catch, Jaden Barnes to pay dirt, and the Mountaineers continue their offensive onslaught here in Sun Belt Conference play against Coastal Carolina at the Rock. A little air guitar here at Kidd Brewer Stadium. You got to get into it. Mountaineers playing a little air guitar with the scoreboard. They have strummed that thing 3 different times thus far this afternoon. All 3 drives leading to touchdowns, and that's kind of the difference. Coastal Carolina had 1 field goal, 1 touchdown. We'll see what the Chanticleers can do to answer, but this has been very much an offensive showcase. Avery Hall, we're already over 300 total yards between the 2. We'll see how this second quarter continues to show us high-octane offense when we come back here to Kidd Brewer Stadium. 21-10 our score. App State up by 11 on Coastal Carolina at the Rock. Samari Collier back at the quarterback spot for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers as we rejoin you from Kidd Brewer Stadium. It's rocking today here at the Rock. Homecoming 2025. App State has done their part. They put 3 touchdowns on the board thus far. Coastal Carolina with their 3rd drive. Neither one of these teams has been denied points on any drive thus far. So if you had the over, if you're on the ESPN Bet app, if you had the over, you're probably in good shape right now. I don't think anybody's going to stop anybody today. That's at least what we're seeing thus far. Here's Collier back at the QB spot again. He dinged up his lower leg a series ago. And Collier on the keep. We'll get back to the initial line of scrimmage. Kevin Abrams for Wayne in on the tackle.
You know, you're talking about offensive proficiency. I mean, you really just got 2 teams that are building off what they started last week. I think Appalachian scored on 50% of their drives, and that's a high clip. You typically don't do that. And of course, Coastal Carolina had a lot of success against ULM. So they're just both teams have picked up where they left off last week.
Nicely in it, running back. The pass goes to Brooks Johnson, the redshirt junior, who had an 8-yard touchdown catch last week. Picks up 6 yards there, gives Coastal 3rd down and manageable. We'll call it 3rd down and 4. Chanticleers just 1 of 2 on 3rd down today. Tim Beck said you got to win 1st down to eliminate the need for these 3rd down plays. It went no gain on 1st down, 6-yard pickup on 2nd. So we'll see if Collier and crew can move the chains and keep the drive alive.
Collier clapped. He knows what the defense is going to do. They showed their hands a little bit. He goes up, he changes the play.
Nicely in at tailback. Collier using Nicely's block. Will take off, has the 1st down and more to the 45-yard line. Spins his shoulder into the Mountaineer defense and has enough for the 1st down. DJ Burks took the brunt of Collier's twists there at the end of the play. Take
a look here. Collier knows the defense is in an odd front, meaning they've got a nose tackle over the center. He knows he's got a 3 technique on both sides of the guard. Good seal block. He does a good job of running in between that seal block and the open space there. 1st and 10 from the 40. Collier slings one into the Mountaineer sideline, intended for Carmelo English. Go back to MJ Morris for a second. You know, one of the things that Tim Beck had to be concerned about was depth coming into this ball game. As a matter of fact, John Hunt, a redshirt freshman quarterback that has not seen game action yet, went through warm-ups. I mean, he is clearly the 3rd guy. You go back to Morris, who was 2 for 2 on that last drive with 39 yards and a touchdown, a well-thrown ball to Malcolm Gillies. So maybe one of the things that comes out of this is that you get Morris back. He was the starter at the beginning of the year, had some problems turning the football over. That obviously yielded Tad Hudson's playing time opportunity, but now with depth of concern, you need Morris to be a healthy and viable option in the room. Play clock at 0, and it looks like a delay of game or a timeout, one of the 2. That's going to be a delay of game. I don't think they got the timeout in before the clock time elapsed.
Remain 2nd down.
So that's an assist from the crowd here at the Rock. That a little loud there on the 2nd down play call. So 2nd and 15, the call on the 5-yard penalty.
Well, you know, it's a situation where you're talking about going back to the quarterback situation or scenario. Man, gosh, they had you know, Tad Hudson, they had Samari Collier, they had MJ Morris, and now they're down. It looks like Tad Hudson, so they've kind of played the musical chair at that quarterback position. But the good thing is they have 3 good ones.
There goes Nicely. He's a pretty good running back out of that stable and takes it across midfield and more. Knocked out of bounds at the 26, and Dominique nicely parts the seas and gives the Chanticleers the doorstep of the red zone.
Good vision by Nicely. Again, he bounces outside. It's one of those zone plays where he's looking to find the seam in that outside zone. Good vision, good balance, good run, good speed after he gets into open space.
Scat back type runner. Drew Hollingshead said he's one of those guys that can make one cut and go, and that's exactly what he did. What goes down in the books is a 35-yard gain. Handoff on the end around. And now a pass back to Collier on the other side. Collier trying to make some people miss. Inside the 20 like a pinball. And Coastal Carolina uses some trickery here.
You know, that's just a really executed play. The linemen all jump down. Take a look at this. They all flop down. Bam. You know what that does? That keeps him from going downfield and getting illegal man downfield when he throws it back. Even though he throws it behind the line of scrimmage, a lot of those times those linemen will get downfield and they'll have to call that one back. They drop down. They give the play time to develop. Again, they make sure they throw behind the line of scrimmage. That was a well-executed play, but Appalachian did a good job of kind of recovering from not being in a position to make a play there.
And Bryson Graves is saying, guys, I'm 2 for 2 in the passing game on the year. Just saying, if things get thin at QB, I'm your guy. Here's Collier on first down, leaning into some defenders, trying his own Rashad Dubinion imitation to the 11-yard line. Healthy pickup on first down for Samari Collier. He'll move the chains on a 10-yard gain.
You see him leaning into those linebackers. He's not afraid. I mean, you know, Samari Collier, he's 6'2", like I said, 231. He's a redshirt senior. He's an older guy, not afraid of contact, not afraid of physicality. Now he's leaving the ball game, but he'll lean on a linebacker. He's not afraid of contact.
You know, Javen Simpkins said of Tad Hudson that he really likes to lean the shoulder in on the goal line. That's a trait of all of these QBs. We've seen evidence of it. That's good coaching there from Drew Hollingshead at the QB position coach spot as well as offensive coordinator. Morris back in at QB. Simpkins on the run and can't get out of a foot tackle at the 11-yard line. That'll go down as a half-yard loss.
Colton Ferris, man, did an outstanding job of coming downhill at that linebacker position. Because again, if he doesn't make that shoestring tackle, that guy's still running. But again, he does a good job first of all, the defensive line does a good job of gap responsibility. He skates on down the line, does a good job of coming up, making a shoestring tackle.
Well, Javen Simpkins stays at running back. Collier back on in the QB spot. This is not abnormal for Coastal Carolina to go with 2 QBs in a situation like this. Red zone try for the Chanticleers. Collier has been trouble on the ground, trying to go to the air and throws that one off the pads of his intended target. That'll bring up third down.
Again, he didn't get a chance to step into that one, had a little outside pressure, and really couldn't step into that one like he wanted to, and really underthrew the football. Actually hit the ground before it got to the receiver's intended target's hands.
Eli Aragon was the intended target. Coastal without 2 receivers, Malik Mega and Colton Hinton, out for today's game. So going down that receiver tree a little bit are the Chanticleers. Third down and 10. This place is loud. Collier drifting back with pressure coming. A little underneath touch pass complete. Cut back to the 5 and tackled at the 4-yard line. Excellent vision by Bryson Graves to get back underneath, but he couldn't quite get inside the 4.
Bryson Graves is averaging 9 yards per catch. Does a good job here of just cutting back inside, trying to find the seam.
Coastal going for it here on 4th down. 4 of 9 on the year. Here's Collier straight up the middle, and he parts the seas. Touchdown, Chanticleers. Samari Collier calls his own number, and the Chants score on a 4th down try.
Again, up tempo by the Chanticleers, not giving Appalachia time to kind of think about what they're going to do. Again, they've had a lot of success running outside on the perimeter with the quarterback, but that time they went straight into the belly of the defense. Their offensive line, Kane McDonald, Joseph Hanson, Zach Elam, Thomas Johnson did a good job of creating a seam for Collier.
7 carries on the day, 47 yards and a touchdown. The PAT is good, and the difference in this game, a field goal versus a touchdown. Back and forth we go. Both of these teams scoring on all 3 of their drives, and right now Appalachian State clinging to a 21-17 lead as Collier takes it to the house here at the Rock. Away and found pressure right on him.
You know, when Collier rolls out like that, take a look, and if they show the play, when he rolls out like that, the defense has to stay focused on their keys. Now, they know that he's looking to probably run the football, but you cannot allow a receiver to get open in space. But great open field tackle there.
We've seen some solid fundamentals in that regard by both teams here today. Here's Collier again trying to run out of trouble, and App State has dialed up the pressure. Dylan Haas comes down from free safety.
Adjustment. Who makes the best adjustment? What Coach DJ Smith has done is he said, look, we're going to make sure we shore up our gaps. We're going to make sure that he's not running in between the tackles or getting in the seam and find. Look, they know he's going to run. They're doing a better job of identifying where he is and getting to him when he attempts to run the football. 2
plays from scrimmage. 2 consecutive losses for Coastal. 3rd and 16 for the Chanticleers. They're 2 of 5 on 3rd down today. Collier drifting back, little pass in the seam. That goes to Bryson Graves, and he gets back to the original line to gain at the 25, and that's it. Colton Ferris gets him from behind, and Coastal Carolina will go 3 and out on the opening drive. This is one of a rare opportunity. I think it's the only 3rd punt of the entire day.
That's a good response by Appalachia's defense as they come into the second half. Again, Coastal had an opportunity to come out and with both teams exchanging scores, come out and try and put some points on the board. Appalachian did a good job of stopping them, and they should have decent field position as they get the football here.
Emil Sebofunde drives Jaden Barnes back, catches that football inside the 25, and now he's got some room to run. Across the 40, across midfield. He's got one to beat. He's going to take this to the house. The Mountaineers with special teams magic to start off this second half.
Outstanding special teams play by the Mountaineers. Again, you know, Coach Jeff Crosby, the special teams coach, is going to be pleased with his guys on the front side of the punt return team by doing a good job of making sure the punt was punted, but also doing a good job of getting back in the wall and creating a seam for Barnes to run in. Crosby's going to be really excited with his punt return team there.
77-yard return for Jaden Barnes, who came into play today as one of the top return men in the Sun Belt. He was 6th in the league in punt return yardage, and now he's going to be in the national conversation after putting points on the board to start this second half in dramatic fashion. Dom DeFreitas, his PAT is good, and the Mountaineers get a 3 and out on the defensive side and turn around a 77-yard punt return to the house. Check it again. Barnes gets 1 tackler, 2, and then it's off to the races. Mountaineers lead it 31-17 here on Homecoming Saturday at the Rock. Plowing through Zaire Gamble on his way to a
Appalachia's is doing a great
4 for the Chanticleers.
Yeah, they're trying to spread out this Appalachian defense so that Collier can have some seams and some space to run. But Appalachia's is doing a great job of tackling right now.
Here's Simpkins, that same side, left side he goes, and he's into open space, plowing through Zaire Gamble on his way to a first down gain inside Mountaineer territory to the 40-yard line.
You know, as soon as I say they're doing a good job of tackling, Coastal Carolina Springs, when you take a look here, again, this is just one of those, you look at the tight end, he does a good job of sealing on our outside linebacker. Good run by Simpkins there.
And now another completion by Collier. And Coastal Carolina going to go with tempo. That's good for a first down gain. Zaire Gamble on the tackle. The ball actually popped out and was recovered to the 35. Coastal Carolina football, first down and 10. Chanticleers starting to pull back that arm, ready to punch forward and say we're not done yet. Collier, a high snap, disrupts the timing, goes option, keeps it, and goes right into the breadbasket of Thomas Davis. Call it maybe a 3-yard pickup. Colton Ferris in there as well. They'll call it 3 yards, 2nd down and 7.
That's just your vanilla RPO. Again, you know he's not going to pass. He's going to run. But again, he integrated that running back as that third option that he could have pitched it to. Good job by Thomas Davis coming up and recognizing the opportunities to tackle Collier immediately. So good job for coming up and playing assignment football there.
Collier, a national championship signal caller at Hutchinson Junior College last year. He has got pedigree for winning moments. Finds this ball to Washington on the handoff, who scampers out at the 25-yard line. That's Robbie Washington, the redshirt sophomore from Miami, had an earlier touch. Will be about a yard shy of the 1st down. 3rd and 1 the call.
Obviously, they know they're having a difficult time getting the ball to Robbie down the field, so they're trying to get it to him in that jet sweep, motion. But he's a playmaker, averaging 11 yards per touch right now.
Javon Edwards is the protection back off the right. He'll get the handoff. Right side run has the 1st down. Bouncing off tackler, still on his feet. He's going to go inside the 5-yard line. Boy, App State was able to just get the fingertips on him. Elijah McCantos, the touchdown-saving tackle inside the red zone.
That's a shifty run there. Again, like I said, good vision and good balance there by the running back.
Collier using blockers inside the 5. Touchdown. Shotza clears. And there's the answer from Coastal as Samari Collier finds pay dirt for the 2nd time today.
Obviously, Coastal's not going to quit. This is really just good zone play. Again, you could call it a zone play or zone blocking or slide blocking. But Collier, and he seems to be gimpy, has a gimpy ankle there. But Collier does a good job of just kind of being patient, getting behind the offensive lineman, and once he sees that seam, he just gets through it and gets into the end zone. But he's a big guy too, so folks who watch this on television, Samari Collier is 6'2", 231 pounds. He's a big guy.
Kian Afukte pops through the PAT, and we've got a timeout on the field. Just under 10 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Back and forth we go. 31-24 App State on top, at Samari Collier into the end zone for the 2nd time today. .24 our score. Coastal Carolina back in the end zone. 6-yard touchdown from Samari Collier. Capped a 7-play, 75-yard drive.
Number 0 is now number 46.
So a 7-point margin again. The difference, a Jaden Barnes punt return for touchdown. App State had a 7-point lead, extended it, and now Coastal Carolina's fought back. Kickoff out of the back of the end zone. And now, for the first time in the second half, here we are under 10 minutes in the third quarter, you get a chance to see the App State offense. J.J. Cole in that first half, 16 of 20, 168, and a pair of touchdowns. App State rushed for only 52 yards, passed for 168. Avery Hall, that rushing total a little bit lower than one might anticipate given the success that Rashad Dubinion and Trig Lewis have had carrying the ball for the majority of the season.
Well, the good thing is, Dubinion is getting a little rest with Lewis coming in and sparing him and taking a few totes away from him. But I do think that he's the type back that gets lathered up with more carries.
And here he goes, leaning in to the first tackle attempt. That's a 10-yard pickup. Jamarion Wayne wears Rashad Dubinion on that 11-yard run.
Good job by the offensive line. Taking a look at it. Everybody does a good job of getting their angle block. Dubinion does a great job of hitting that hole and then getting through it in an explosive manner. But again, he's the type back. As he gets more carries, I mean, he gets better. And so you really want to get him the football at least 20 times a football game.
7 carries, now 8. He's averaging about 5 yards a touch. Spin move maybe one too many times. Jamarion Wayne did not bite on the second one. And Dubinion will pick up 2 on the play.
Good job with the offensive line. He had a couple combo blocks and a few isolation blocks. A few more Shanta clears within the box. Good job of coming up and making that open field tackle.
Second down and 8 for the Mountaineers. Inside their own 40. Dubinion splitting out now. Comes back as an orbiter. Play action fake. Cole eludes some pressure and gets tripped up from behind. Noah Arinze got him from the backside and trips him up about 2 yards into his run-up field. To call it a 2-yard gain, that could have been much, much more had Arinze not gotten there.
I tell you, had Arinze not gotten there, I think he could have maybe achieved the first down. Again, Cole did a good job of recognizing that all of the receivers were well covered, and he tries to run, but Arinze said, not today. 6'6", 272 pounds, lots of range there.
Cole has that ball batted away on 3rd down and 6, and Coastal Carolina gets a stand. Call it Sawyer Gorham Welch with the deflection up at the line of scrimmage. And Cole and the Mountaineers will see this drive come to an end.
You know, when J.J. Cole, he's 6'7", 245, and whenever you say a pass batted down, you're like, who's the guy that knocked that one down? But folks, keep in mind, Coastal Carolina has one of the bigger defensive lines I think that we've probably seen. They've got a 6'5" guy, 6'4" guy, another 6'5", and a 6'6" guy across that front on their 4-down lineman.
Ian Ratliff. It's a fake, actually. Fake on the punt play, and the Mountaineers have a first down. Ian Ratliff came on to punt, and the Mountaineers went with the fake instead.
I'll tell you what, DJ, it's good that you got 2 coaches. You had an onside kick earlier in this football game. You got a fake punt, and again, that was well executed. Good blocking up front on the proverbial offensive line, but good job by number 11 scampering. Take a look here. Good blocking. Good job of sealing folks off, allowing him to have the seam to get to the outside.
That's Juan Burchell, who took that early snap and took off. So the Mountaineers back to it, 1st and 10. Here's Rashad Dubinion kind of clawing through some arm tackles, picks up an extra yard. That should have been a tackle for loss, but Dubinion makes it a 1-yard run.
Schematically, you just got to love this football game. Again, one team goes for an onside early in the football game. Now you got a punt fake, and these coaches are not holding anything back in their play calling. So you just got to love the sequence of plays and the things that are transpiring in this football game.
Coastal Carolina bringing some heat. Barnes on the catch. Check that. Sanchez on the catch underneath the numbers inside the 30 to the 27. That'll move the chains for a first down. Quick pass. Zamarion Gordon on the tackle. Cole had to get rid of it, and he found Sanchez for the first down.
That's not an easy throw. You're throwing across the field. Again, he does a good job of tossing it out there, giving his receiver a chance to catch the ball and make an upfield or a football move. That's just a heck of an effort by Sanchez of getting yards after the catch, after the initial contact. 2
catches, 30 yards for Alex Sanchez. He had that game icer against Charlotte earlier this year. Dubinion carries down to the 25, picks up 2, maybe 3 yards on first down.
I mean, again, you got to like the sequence of the play calls, because again, you run the ball, you throw it, you do the horizontal pass game, you do the vertical pass game, you do power football, you do finesse football. I like the way the game is being called today, Dave Jackson.
Travis Nesbitt on that tackle for Coastal Carolina. 2nd down and a long 7 for the Mountaineers. Trig Lewis back at the tailback spot. 3 receivers up top for J.J. Cole. Cole drifting back a couple of steps. Good pickup of pressure. Now Cole takes off underneath the numbers 10 and cuts back to the 9-yard line. Upended out of bounds, but he gets the 1st down gain nonetheless.
That's really just a high IQ play. Look, he's going through his read progression. Nobody's open. He's not going to throw a bad ball. He decides to pick up the 1st down via his legs. He can clearly see on the left side of the field, the boundary side of the field, that he had a lot of real estate. Smart football by J.J. Cole.
Cole a little bit stunned as he gets up. 1st down handoff, Lewis. Up the middle, bouncing off tacklers to the 7-yard line. That'll be 2nd and goal for the Mountaineers. This tackle made by Miles Muyung, the redshirt senior from Miami.
I tell you what, I'm not sure if Jaden's still in there, but Donnell Nix, Caden Sweat, Will Flowers, Trent Ramsey, Shamar Jackson, those guys are they're rolling up their sleeves and putting in some good work on the offensive line.
2nd and Cole. Cole back, looking for the corner. That ball deflected at the line of scrimmage, intended for Cummings. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal now.
Noah Urenze, again, he's 6'6", folks. He's tall, and you know, you got a quarterback who's 6'7". Well, they're looking each other in the eye. So he's doing a good job of getting his hands up and knocking that football down.
Jeremiah Johnson said Urenze needed to bring pressure off that side. He has done so, especially here in the 2nd half, really bothering J.J. Cole from about the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter on. Here's 3rd down and goal for App State. 3rd and 7, the call. DeBinion underneath. Cole drifts back, finds DeBinion in the flat. He cannot make the catch. Got hit from behind. Popped very quickly by Lionel Whitaker. That dislodges the ball, and that brings out the field goal unit. So Coastal Carolina gets the stand, and that they don't give up the touchdown.
And you know, Cole went to the right read. Again, they showed pre-snap, they showed 3 down linemen rushing, but they rushed forward, had a linebacker come from that zone, and Cole is trying to throw in that direction. But that's just a great play by Lionel Whitaker, coming up and hitting the receiver and dislodging that football.
25-yard attempt for Dominic DeFreitas. He's hit from 31 already today, and he nails this one as well. So Mountaineers get 3. They use a little trickery to do it. The fake punt keeps the drive alive, and Dom DeFreitas puts points on the board. 34-24, 10-point lead for the Black and Gold here at the Rock and Boone. Stadium special swag for homecoming this year. You see the Flying Yosef logo on the helmet. This predates Avery Hall. This is more early 80s than late 80s. You never got the Flying Yosef gear, right?
Flying Yosef gear had the Jerry Moore produced Block A, but I love the Flying Yosef. It reminds me of champions, because I think back in '86 and '87 they won championships wearing that Flying Yosef logo.
That's the Sparky Woods era. That's Dino Hackett, who we talked to a few weeks ago. He was one of those Flying Yosef helmet-wearing Mountaineer linebackers. And John Settle, another one. I think that's why the Yosef was flying, because Settle was running so fast it could never get worked out.
Something to that Flying Yosef, because even today we've been flying around on defense, a little bit flying around on offense. Obviously, we've got to find a way to stop this Coastal Carolina offense, but the team seems to have a little more pep in their step, so I like that Flying Yosef logo.
25-yard field goal from Dom DeFreitas. That gives us a 10-point margin now. 34-24, App State in front. Samari Collier off on the wheels again, and he is met right up front by DeNigel Cooper.
DeNigel Cooper's not a big guy. I mean, he's tall, 6'3", but 260 pounds. Outstanding job of maintaining his gap responsibility. Take a look here again. He stays within his gap responsibility and doesn't put the linebacker on the island, but instead of just letting the linebacker come up and make a play, he makes the play. Great job, DeNigel Cooper.
13 carries on the day for Samari Collier, 54 yards and a pair of touchdowns. He's averaging about 4 yards per touch. Collier this time wants to sling the rock and does so out on the boundary. Cameron Wright, the redshirt senior out of Batesville, Mississippi, with his first catch of the day. That'll bring up third down and a long 6 for Coastal Carolina. Chanticleers today 3 of 7 on third down. App State defensively trying to turn up some heat. The Mountaineers 4th in the Sun Belt on third down defense coming into play today.
4 down lineman. I expect him to try and get around the backside on the boundary side with Collier or the running back on this particular play here.
Dominic Nicely is the running back. He's off the now left hip of Collier. Play clock down to 5. Collier kind of bobbles the snap initially and completes the pass once again. That's a first down grab for Cameron Wright up near the 45-yard line. They'll mark him at the 43. Zaire Gamble on the stop. Chanticleers move the chains.
That's a good job of number 17, Cameron Wright, 6'4", 207. Take a look. He just gets right in front of that zone coverage, hides a little bit. Good throw by Collier. And again, good run after the catch.
First down and 10, Coastal at the 43-yard line. Their own territory, driving over the top of the block A at midfield. Collier on the day passing 7 of 13, just 52 yards. Threw that one interception right before halftime that led to the App State field goal, part of this 10-point margin. Well, play action look, underneath pass, caught by Graves over on the far sideline. And Bryson Graves nearly gets a first down gain. They'll call it 8 yards on the catch. Thomas Davis and Ethan Johnson ran him out. Well, that was kind of a sidewinder, man. He dropped down 3/4 to get that pass out. Collier on second down and short. Handoff good for a first down gain. That's Javon Edwards. Check that. That's Dominique Nicely. Colton Ferris in on the tackle.
Good job by Colton Ferris coming up, filling that hole and making a good tackle there.
Ferris came into play today with interceptions in his last 2. The only player in the FBS with 30 tackles, 2 interceptions, and at least 6 tackles for loss. He has been active and involved again here today. First and 10, Coastal at the Mountaineer 45-yard line. Down 10, trying to bring it back to a 1-possession game. There's another sidearm pass complete. That's the tight end Brooks Johnson on the ground. That'll pick up 3 yards on first down.
You know, with the play calling by Hollingshead, the offensive coordinator, Coastal Carolina, obviously he's probably trying to set something up deep, something vertical that's going to eventually get behind the safeties. A lot of horizontal passes, obviously a lot of quarterback belly plays, a lot of running backs inside, run that inside zone. I guarantee you he's going to try and take a shot here soon to go over top of this defense.
Javen Simpkins, the protection back off the right-hand side of Collier in the shotgun. Second and short, a little reverse action. Coming back around the corner is Gilly, trying to get that corner left, and the Mountaineers sniff it out. McCantos gets to him. That's a long way to run for a 1-yard gain as Elijah McCantos stayed true to his route.
I tell you what, Elijah McCantos coming from that, he's in that nickel, coming in and does a great job of just hustling and getting on that side. Look, he comes up and makes an authoritative tackle. Again, good open field tackle by McCantos.
Again, Gilly had to run at least 40 yards to gain 1. All the way to one side, back to the other. 3rd down and 7. Coastal 4 of 8 on 3rd down this afternoon. Shotgun snap, a lot of movement, plays blown dead. That's a false start.
It looks like somebody on the offensive line got excited and jumped. But, you know, Collier was probably excited as well because he had 2 receivers on the wide side of the field without a safety valve.
Number 9.
Wow, that's an offside against Dylan Manuel instead of the false start. So the movement against App State, still not enough for a 1st down, but makes it a much more manageable 3rd down. We've got 3rd down and 2 now from the Mountaineer 37. So
yeah, you definitely got to play gap responsibility here because I'm sure Collier's going to run that football.
Collier with Simpkins off his left. Collier drifting back and a throw it on 3rd and 2. He's got a man moving down the sideline. That's caught. And that is out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
You know, we've been
Jamison Tucker on the ground.
You know, you keep seeing that horizontal passing game. You see them running inside the tackle. You see the zone play, the isolation play. They're setting it up to go over top, and they took their shot.
Coastal going to go for it quickly, and I think they're going to review this. They're going to see if he hit the pylon and call this a touchdown. I thought from the naked eye it looked like Tucker got the pylon before he stepped out. But we will see. Scott Broadway will yield to the upstairs replay folks, and we'll check it again. And poor Scott Broadway, he's got to run all the way down to the other end. He kicked the pylon on the front side. That should be a touchdown.
Wow. Wow, he secured the catch. Take a look here. He secures the catch. He gets the 1 foot down, secures the catch there. The foot down hits the pylon. Wow.
And he kicks it.
That may be a touchdown, buddy.
Yeah, Jamison Tucker is a guy, if this is reversed, which we think it will be, that'll be his 10th career touchdown catch. He had 6 last year, and he's a guy that if you watch Coastal Carolina a year ago, different offensive coordinator, same head coach, Jamison Tucker was the guy. Preseason all Sun Belt to claim all of the things. He only had 53 yards receiving on 5 catches coming into this afternoon, and we were both like, where's Jamison Tucker been? And he just made a pretty loud return if this touchdown gets called in his favor.
Well, you know, he shines in the biggest moments because, like you said, he had 34 catches from over almost 600 yards last year, and again, been pretty quiet, only 5 or 6 catches this year, but again, just
after video review, the runner remained in bounds. The result of the play is a touchdown. Please reset the game clock to 8 seconds. 8 seconds on the game clock, please.
So that's a 36-yard touchdown strike from Collier to Jamison Tucker that pulls Coastal Carolina to a 4-point deficit, PAT pending. The play clock had gone to 0. Both teams had switched sides thinking we were at the end of the 3rd quarter, so now they've got to take this really long, somewhat humiliating run back down to the other end of the field to kick this PAT. 8 seconds on the clock. So we're not quite done with the 3rd quarter yet. But there, as you see the replay, Tucker kicked that pylon, and that is enough evidence to say, yes, that's a touchdown instead of out at the 1.
Again, this Coastal Carolina team's not going to quit. Hopefully this Appalachian team's not going to quit. This is going to be a great football game that comes down to the final frame, the 4th quarter.
Fucte's PAT is up and good. It's a field goal game here at the Rock with 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Avery Hall, this has been the punch counter punch game, and we've seen both teams be in position to kind of give the advantage away, but neither one of them can get the distance from one another to really kind of take that advantage and run with it.
Hey, David, that's vintage Appalachian Coastal Carolina. I hate to be redundant, but think about this. Outside of last year's game where they just kind of embarrassed Appalachian a little bit, every ball game has come down to a field goal or a last possession or last couple possessions. So this game is not any different. And you got two competitive football teams. And now Appalachian should have a big chip on their shoulder because they've lost the last two. Actually lost 4 of the last 5. And Coach Beck is 2-0 against his team. So they should have a little chip on their shoulder and want to try and finish this game strong with the win.
Philippe LaForge ready to kick it away. He has sent just about everything out of the back of the end zone today. He was the number 16 kicker nationally out of last year's class. Shorter kickoff this time, but we'll still get to the end zone. Kamani Alexander's bringing it out. He said, I saw Jaden Barnes on the punt return. I want to do something special, and that might not have been the best plan. Gets tackled at the 11-yard line by a sprinting, and that'll be enough, it looks like, for a Mountaineer first down. They will indeed move the chain. Savon McDowell, the sophomore out of Dinwiddie, Virginia, on the tackle. First down and 10, App State from the Coastal 31. 14 minutes and 25 seconds remain in a 3-point ball game. App State driving. Here comes Barnes in orbiting motion. Snap to Cole. He's got a room to throw it. There's Dozier, comes back to it, grabs it at the 35. First down, Mountaineers. Davion Dozier broke off the route and comes back to grab it for a key first down catch.
Good read by Cole. Again, the motion made the defense kind of uncover their coverage. He saw Dozier running underneath that zone or underneath the safety and right in the gap over the linebacker. That's just an outstanding throw over that linebacker before the safety. Great catch.
Fred Adams on the tackle. First and 10 App State from the Coastal 34. 3-point ball game. 34-31 App State in front. Trig Lewis stiff arms one tackler, can't do it another time as Wayne gets to him and spins him to the turf at the 32.
If Trigg keeps running to the outside, he gets a few more yards. But Jamarion Wayne just does a great job with the open field tackle. Again, very, very authoritative on his tackle. But if Lewis just continues on that outside path, he would get more yardage.
2nd and 7, the call now. Ball at the 31-yard line of Coastal territory. Again, the big play on this drive, 35-yard pass completed to Davion Dozier. That got App State into Coastal territory. Here's Cole again. A little quick strike. Caught by Barnes, trying to take it back outside to the 25-yard line, about a yard short of the first down. Zamarion Gordon on the stop. That'll bring up a key 3rd and 1. App State 6 of 10 on 3rd down. Remember, we talked about their efficiency. They've missed their last 2 attempts on 3rd down. So we'll see what Coastal dials up here.
Hopefully short, nice manageable play on 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Again, you've got the offensive line playing well. You've got the horsepower in the backfield. Let's see what they draw up here.
And a full house backfield look as Coastal Carolina may call a timeout here. Hold everything.
It's getting crunch time, so these coaches are going to start really being schematic and strategic in how they do things here. I don't think there
was no timeout called. I think there was a clock management issue, which is unfortunate from App State's perspective.
Because they've shown their play, but we'll see what they come back with. They're going to go back with. They're getting ready to say, we want it more than you guys want it.
From under center, the pass complete to Cummings. Slips a tackler inside the 20. First down gain. Some interesting play design yields Cummings another pass catching opportunity out of the backfield.
I love the play call. Again, you think about Cummings. He lines up in the backfield, comes out of the backfield, gets out in the flats. That's really a glorified sweep play because, again, you're tossing it out there to Cummings in the open field, allowing him to kind of use his athleticism to get that first down.
Jakari Lewis, his 13th carry of the day, leading the team in that regard inside the 15-yard line. They'll mark him just inside the 15, not quite to the 14. Dre Pinkney, the captain, on the tackle for Coastal.
You know, I don't play a lot of video games, but I know a lot of these young folks play Madden and stuff. You know, Coach Locke is you know, calling the plays. I bet he feels like he's playing a video game, because again, he can throw to Cummins, he can hand off to Lewis, he can hand off to DeBinion, he can throw to Stroman, he can throw to Dozier. He's got so many options right now. He's being very effective in the way he's calling this football game.
8 different receivers have touched the football today for App State, and one Trig Lewis to the 10-yard line where he stood up in a pile. He'll be a yard shy of the first down. This has been Lewis's day from the running back perspective from an attempts category. It's his 14th carry, 38 yards on the day. Savon McDowell on the tackle. That keeps him from getting the first down.
And, you know, with Lewis's carries, you got to, you know, be happy for him, but you also have to kind of be excited for DeBinion, because he's still running well and doing well. But it takes a little of the pressure off him, and also takes a little bit of the trauma and the beating on his body off of him, because he was averaging 22 carries per game prior to 2 games ago.
The two of them have combined today for 24 carries, right at 76 yards. Here's a handoff to Lewis, gets through the initial tackler, has the first down to the 3. Zamarion Gordon, the touchdown saving tackle, and App State has first and goal inside the 5.
You got Donnell Nix inside, you got Will Flowers, you got Caden Sweat. I mean, you got some pieces in there, new pieces in on that offensive line, but they're doing a great job right now of controlling the line of scrimmage. Their backs are doing a good job of reading the blocks and finding seams.
Inside 10 minutes to go. App State trying to make it a 2-score game again. Here's a pass toward the corner. Dozier not able to get away from Jamarion Wayne. The pass sails incomplete. Second and goal coming up.
Jamarion Wayne, again, just doing a good job. He's 6'2", and then you got Dozier, who's 6'4". Again, Dozier was not able to get separation, and you got 2 big receivers, so that 50-50 ball, nobody won that one.
Second and goal from the 4. Dozier out to the top of your screen. He's split off to the left side. Trig Lewis, the right side running back. Here comes Dozier in motion. Cole with the snap. Pass over to Dozier. Tries to grab it. Cannot control right on the goal line. All he had to do is catch and take a step. Instead, it's third and goal.
Ted, that was a nicely drawn up play again. Rolling Coles out, quick throw, and Dozier just couldn't hang on to it. Again, it hits him in the hands, in his both hands, and he just couldn't pull it in. And the key is Appalachia wants to come out of this drive. It's been a pretty good drive. They want to come out with a touchdown here.
Here's Cole again. Trying to take off on the run. Spin move back to the line of scrimmage to the 4. Interestingly enough, first and goal inside the 5, and that's 3 consecutive pass plays.
Well, and you know, that's why sometimes, you know, you have to admire that. Because, see, if you run 3 plays, you don't get it. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Excuse my French. But that, you know, I like the aggressiveness of the play call. You wanted a touchdown on this drive, but you're going to have to settle for a field goal, which is still going to make it a one-possession ball game, and makes it a situation where they've got to score a touchdown.
DeFreitas from 23. His kick on the way is good, and that's his 3rd short yardage field goal of the day. So Coastal Carolina sees App State get inside the 5. They hold him to a field goal. It's a 1-possession game. 37-31, App State by 6 with 9 minutes to go at the Rock. Picture-perfect evening here at Kidd Brewer Stadium. Starting to get cool now that the sun is going down, but the action on the field remains white hot. 68 combined points between these two teams. App State gets a 23-yard field goal from Dom DeFreitas, caps off a 14-play, 84-yard drive. Took 6 minutes, got inside the 4-yard line, but Coastal Carolina gets the defensive stand they needed and maintained just a 6-point deficit. Touchdown and an extra point puts you ahead on this drive. It'll be interesting to see how Tim Beck and Drew Hollingshead play call and scheme this thing, because they've had some success on the ground, Avery Hall. They've also had some success with some, I'll call it trick pass plays, because they've had to set those plays up with run, and pass has worked.
Well, again, they're going to look to go over top eventually, because they're running a lot in between the tackles. They're running a lot of the outside zone. They're also kind of throwing that horizontal pass game. So they're going to try and go over top. But what's ironic is they've scored 31 points here today. They only averaged 14 coming into this ball game.
Samari Collier on the run play picks up 3 yards on first down. Collier good for 156 total yards of offense now on the day. Jalen Willis on the stop for App State. Collier has thrown for 99. He has now run for 57. Check that, 58 on 14 attempts, averaging 4 yards per carry from the QB spot. It's almost like having an extra running back there, though with a good enough arm to throw for 99 yards on 10 of 16 completions. Here's a pass out toward the sideline. That's complete. First catch for Carmelo English, the junior out of West Georgia. He's got his catch of the ball game. Has not had a multi-receiving effort yet this year.
Carmelo English did a good job of getting down to the getting to the first down marker, knowing exactly where he needed to be. Good throw by Collier on that play.
First and 10 game, and Simpkins on the carry for a pickup of 1. Jalen Willis, the senior linebacker, on the tackle for App State. Willis is a guy who had a high motor at the beginning of the year. Dowell Loggins and DJ Smith have been talking to him about maintaining composure. Willis has been on the field for some big moments in this game. Good to see him back out there. 2nd down and 9. Pass out on the boundary. Washington trying to release, does so. Up to midfield, first down gain, Coastal Carolina. As Robbie Washington rides the rail of that near sideline. Thomas Davis finally pushes him out of bounds right at the midfield stripe.
Another great play call. Again, you get that little bubble screen, or a little pass to the outside in the flats, and he tries to get what he can. Good job of running after the catch.
Simpkins across midfield picks up 4 yards on first down. When we were talking to Drew Hollingshead this week, he said something that I think is very reminiscent of how this game has played out. He said, from a play caller's perspective, you never want to turn your team into something they are not. Such a great balance of the run and the pass with Samari Collier, who hasn't had a ton of experience here at Coastal Carolina this year, but they've given him manageable situations from an offensive standpoint, not asking him to do too much.
And he also talked about development. He talked about, they're having to teach these players what to do, not necessarily how to do it, but these guys have risen to the occasion and kind of stepped up and starting to make big plays for this offensive unit.
Dominic nicely stood up by Kevin Abrams Verwain at the 43-yard line. Hell's bells ring here on 3rd down at the Rock, and this is a big one. 3rd down and 3. Coastal down 6 with the ball in App State territory. Under 7 minutes to go. Start to play the clock a little bit here too for both teams. Coastal Carolina 5 of 9 on 3rd down. They've been much better in the second half. Shotgun snap, Collier. Pressure starting to come. Heaves one downfield, and that pass falls incomplete, and here comes the flag.
That was not a catchable ball, but the defensive back did tackle the wide receiver on that play, but I don't know if that was a catchable ball there.
Emory Floyd fell into Jamison Tucker. And we'll see.
Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That is the 5th penalty against App State on the day, the 2nd of the second half.
Whoa, I don't know if he touched it. Looking at the replay, I don't know if he touched it. Let's take a look again here. Okay, he may have grabbed his arm there. Wow, that's a tough call.
1st and 10, Coastal Carolina now from the App State 28. Collier on the keep. Trying to reverse field. App State just standing around, not tackling him, and finally brings him down at the 23-yard line. A lot of time standing upright. 6-yard gain. Colton Ferris finally tips him over. Collier nearing the 70-yard mark rushing now on 15 attempts. 2nd and 5 for Coastal. Knocking on the door of the App State red zone. The back is Simpkins off the right-hand side of Collier. Play clock down to 8. Here's Collier bouncing, running away from pressure. And will heave this ball into the sideline. Great pursuit there by Kyle Arnholt. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Smart decision by Collier. Again, he's outside the tackle box, so he can get rid of that. It's not intentional grounding, but again, pretty good penetration by the 3 technique, which is the defensive tackle, the 1 technique, get penetration, forcing him outside. And he just didn't have any receiver to go to. All the defenders had really not allowed any separation. He didn't have anywhere to go with the football.
Collier a little tender with that ankle as he comes into the shotgun. 3 wide up top. Man underneath is Carmelo English. 3rd and 5, Coastal. Collier on the keep, has the 1st down and more. Tripped up at the 12-yard line, nearly took out the official with him. Zaire Gamble on the tackle, 1st down, Coastal Carolina.
Gosh, he read that pretty well. I mean, again, it does not look like man coverage, but he clearly, that's a design quarterback run. He does a good job of finding a hole in the middle of that Appalachian defense, maybe because the motion required the linebacker to step outside, and he just quickly hit the hole there.
Dominique Nicely off the right-hand side of Collier. It's Nicely on the carry. Off the right side, runs through 1, 2 arm tackles, and finally ripped down inside the 5. Caleb Sandstrom tackles him at the 3. Nearly a 10-yard gain. They'll call it 9 on 1st down, so 2nd and goal from the 3. Nicely trying to finish the drive. Handoff straight up the middle, turned away. The 1st wave is pushed across. They're going to mark him at the 1. That's going to be good for a 1st down. Be 1st and goal, but shy of the touchdown. And here we are again in this tricky end zone. App State got a goal line stand in their last home game against Oregon State in this spot. 4 downs away from it, and the clock is becoming a factor inside 4 minutes now.
This is going to be power football. Isolation blocks, man on man. And see who wins here.
Collier calling for the shotgun snap. Takes off right-hand side. And no signal yet. No signal yet. They're going to say he's down at the half-yard line. 2nd and inches. Well, there's some Mountaineer fans that have got that deja vu feeling right now. Tim Beck doing an excellent job bleeding the clock here. If Coastal scores and kicks a PAT to go ahead, App State's going to have precious little time to work with. Here's Collier again. Handoff nicely. And this time he's across. Touchdown Coastal with 3:19 to go. The Chanticleers have tied it up at 37. PAT pending.
This is going to be fun. I know for Mountaineers, it's a lot of pressure, but this is going to be fun. This is going to see kind of from a resiliency, see what your football team's made of. From an adjustment and a play calling perspective, this next drive will be fun to watch. It'll be fun to see what the Appalachian offensive coaches caught dial up.
Futte has not missed a PAT all year. He does not in the biggest moment. And Coastal Carolina, with their first lead of the game, comes with 3:19 to play in quarter number 4. We're going to take a break. Mountaineers need 1. We'll see how they drive it for 3:19. 1-point lead for Coastal Carolina here at Boone. And these two head coaches' hearts are in their throat right now because you don't want a penalty in a moment like this to be the difference one way or the other.
I think the referees missed an opportunity. Now, from my vantage point, I've not seen a replay. It looks like he was hit late out of bounds, but we'll see the potential on the replay. But again, they're showing it on the Jumbotron video board here, and looks like he was hit late. They missed an opportunity there.
So App State with the football, down 1. Dominic DeFreitas is season-long a 49-yarder against Oregon State. He's 4 of 7 from the 40 to 49-yard range. Inside 40, he has not missed this year. 5 wide, flag flies. Play clock was at 13. It's a false start.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
As Griffin Scroggs, who is whistled for the infraction. So App State gambled on the kickoff return, got out to the 19, now takes a 5-yard penalty back to the 14. Again, need points to win it. 3:08 to go. Here's Cole, first pass play, over the head of Stroman, incomplete. A little bit of pressure there. Bring up 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15. Makes for a tough play call, but you got to try and get at least half of the yardage or a little more to make the third down play call enough to keep the defense off balance.
Trig Lewis off the right-hand side of Cole in the shotgun. 2nd down and 15. Cole with pressure. Pass underneath Cummings. Fights off a tackler across the 20. Gets to the 22 and stood up there. App State fans asking about contact after the whistle. They're feisty right now. Check that 3rd down and 7 coming up.
I mean, you think about it. You're down by 10. You come back. You're up by 1. You got every right to be feisty, and it's called confidence. You got Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers have a bunch of confidence right now, and they're trying to put this ball game away. This is a big 3rd down for Appalachia.
3rd down and 7. Cole with time. Coming back for Stroman. That ball is thrown over his head. Tried to lean in to the defender Lionel Whitaker. And did not get the favorable call. He was trying to bait pass interference. That ball was thrown over his head. Whitaker may have impeded his way back, but that call not coming. This is a ball game play right here. 2:22 to go. 4th down and 7 is the call.
Looks like Coastal's going to be in cover 4. They're not going to let anybody behind them.
Cole stepping back underneath. Cummings tackled inside the 25. Not enough. And App State misfires on the 4th down play and gives the ball back to Coastal with a 1-point lead and 2:16 to go.
You know, that's a tough situation, because one, as a quarterback, you really don't want to see your quarterback throw a pass that does not get you a 1st down when it's 4th and 10 or whatever it was. The receiver needs to understand he has to get depth. He has to get as deep as the line to gain to get beyond that 1st down marker, and neither happened. And so, you just got to want to hope that your players respond in a better manner in that situation to get a little more depth to get the 1st down, as well as quarterback throwing towards the 1st down marker.
So now App State's defense needs to answer the bell. They've got all 3 timeouts, 2:16, so you get the 2-minute warning stoppage here as well. Here's Simpkins off the right side, slicing his way inside the 15-yard line. 1st down, Coastal. You let him score, kick the PAT, it's an 8-point game. I'm sure a little bit of that math is going on in the heads of the App State staff right now. Got to play that, hey, let's let him in. I'm sure Tim Beck is saying during this timeout right now that's been called by App State, hey, if they let you go, take a dive on the 1 and don't go in.
Yeah,
and make them burn another timeout at least.
It's a chess match now. And,
this game has been a chess match. It's perfect in a way that it's ending like this.
Yeah, and Appalachian, if I'm looking at it correctly, they've got 2 timeouts left. So, I think I'd look at it a little different. I'd try and see if I can stop them and at least get the ball back. And you're not going to have any timeouts if you can stop them in the next 3 downs. But you still would have at least, a minute 5, maybe you know, 65 to 70 seconds to try and get down the field if you can stop them. But they may go for a field goal as well.
I would assume, though, that if Coastal scores, they go for 2, right? Because if they get the 2, you make it a 9-point game. If you don't get it, touchdown field goal. Still a lot. Here's Edwards off the far side. Shoved out of bounds with 2:02 to go.
Why did the clock not stop when the guy had gone on bounds?
2-minute timeout.
We'll take a timeout. The 2-minute timeout is here. 38-37. Coastal Carolina by a point. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll let you know how this all ends here from Kidd Brewer Stadium in Boone. Coastal by a point. Link your account. You can watch, play, sync, personalize, bite your fingernails just like we all have been here in this one. Edwards across the goal line, touchdown Coastal. So App State kind of lets the C's part there, gives Coastal the 44-37 advantage. Javon Edwards in on the 8-yard touchdown run. And now you play the math game. Looks like Coastal's going to go for a PAT, which would make App State have to score a touchdown and go for 2. First, the PAT. Foutte splits the uprights. So the PAT good, and now App State needs to use some of that Kidd Brewer Stadium magic one more time. With 1:56 to go, Avery Hall, you get a little bit more true offensive look. 1:56 to play, 2 timeouts. This is 2-minute drill material right here, so it's not an uncommon situation, and you're not too far up against the clock at this point.
Most teams practice the 2-minute drill every day, or at least twice a week in practice. And Appalachian has an opportunity. You go down, you score, you convert on a 2-point conversion, you tie the football game. It's not going to be easy because Coastal Carolina has stepped it up defensively, and but you got an opportunity here. You practice this often, and hopefully you've got the well, not hopefully, you definitely know you got the tools to get it down the field with you know, all of the weapons: Dozier, Strowman, Barnes, Cummings. You're just going to have to be aggressive, and it's harder to throw the football down the field when the defense knows that. I mean, obviously, you know, the situation, they know you're going to try and get the ball deep or get behind the safety. So it's going to be tough, but there's an opportunity here.
Felipe LaForge to let it go. Saw blade kick. Kamani Alexander going to let that one go. Good thing it was out of the back of the end zone anyway. All right, so 1:56 to play. App State needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Coastal Carolina took the first lead of the game in teal-colored glasses at about the 3-minute mark. This has been a back-and-forth affair. Even with there not being any lead changes, it was like that punch-counter-punch, keeping that margin within 1 score just about the entire game. App State briefly built a 14-point lead. Coastal Carolina quickly evaporated that. And here we are.
Well, and they've gone, both teams have gone back and forth all day. I mean, so this type of, you know, ending either way, whether it's Coastal or Appalachian, does not surprise me.
Here's Cole with some heat, and that ball is picked. There's a flag on the play, so hold everything. Coastal Carolina may have had the game-clinching interception. Hold that thought. Luke Murphy has the football.
Looks like it's going to be on Appalachian based on the Coastal Carolina players saying that they're going to.
Prior to the interception, personal foul, face mask, defense number 8.
Wow.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So the Mountaineers catch a break.
They catch a break, big
Catch a break and catch some field position as well. That's a 15-yard penalty, so instead of the game-ending interception for Luke Murphy, he'll have that on his almost highlight reel as the play was wiped out by a penalty. And that was pressure. That was exactly what Jeremiah Johnson was talking about all week. Pressure, pressure, disrupt the passing lanes, disrupt timing. He got the result. Let's see if they can do it again. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 App State at their own 40. Cole back to pass. Goes with the relief valve to Trig Lewis, who gets out of bounds, tackled into the Coastal sideline, about an 8-yard pickup to the 48-yard line.
Tell you what, nice play throwing that check down pass to Lewis, because everybody was covered. Again, they're rushing 4 down linemen, still getting adequate pressure on Cole. But keep in mind, Appalachian has a banged up offensive line. They've lost 2 offensive linemen today in right guard Trent Ramsey and left tackle Jaden Ramsey. So again, this is going to be a tough situation for them.
2nd down and 2 again. Lewis tackled into the boundary. Luke Murphy on the stop. Clock stops to move the chains. 1:37 to go, and App State into Coastal territory now. Again, App State would need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the ball game.
You know, most teams practice a two-minute offense in practice on a daily basis. You know, a lot of coaches use it, you know, for conditioning. A lot of coaches use it to truly work on situational coaching. We'll see who's been paying attention, because again, Appalachian has an opportunity, but again, Coastal's not going to give them anything deep. They're going to try and keep everything underneath, and they're going to have to methodically go down the field and pick and choose how they get chunks of yards here.
Jaden Barnes, 5th catch of the day. 2nd down and 5. Cole rolling out, looking for something. Finds Lewis, takes off inside the 35-yard line. They'll mark him at the 32. Clock stops to move the chains. 1st down, App State. 1:06 to go. Zeke Campbell caught him from behind.
Great decision by Cole. He probably saw, you know, Dozier wide open, I think, in the middle of the field, but decided not to throw into double coverage. Great decision to throw underneath there.
Lewis off his left. 1st down and 10. Cole looking for the quick strike. Over toward the sideline. Cummings. Flag on the play as Cummings fights out of bounds to the 25-yard line. That's a pickup of 7.
Is this going to be pass interference on Coastal? We'll see here.
Clock stop with 55 seconds. Scott Broadway has been busy. Not in number, but in significance. This is the 10th penalty of the game combined. We're going to pick it up. A lot of chatter. Meanwhile, Coastal getting the sub. This is almost a timeout without it being a timeout. Scott Broadway's like, hey, you got to finish this. Tell me what the deal is.
Not a timeout, but who's taking advantage of it? Which coaches are putting together strategy?
Pass interference. Offense, number 8.
Wow, they call pass interference on offense. Wow. Maybe he pushed off to separate. That's how he got that separation.
Interestingly enough, it was Cummings that caught the ball, and the penalty was against Stroman. So that'll back App State up to the 47-yard line.
And maybe
1st and 25.
Pick or rub.
Yeah.
It was illegal there, but we didn't see the replay.
Here's Cole again, looking underneath, and that pass is dropped. Tough pass. It was over the head of Jaden Barnes. He had to sky up and kind of corral it. I think he felt like he was going to get rocked. Trey Brown was there on the pressure.
Trey Brown getting pressure. Again, keep in mind, this is a patched up offensive line. They had 2 guys go down in this football game, and Jaden Ramsey and Trent Ramsey. And again, I'm not making any excuses. What I'm saying is you got 2 new guys in there. A lot of these guys, you know, even the guys who've been starters have not played a long time together. So you got 2 new guys, and they're trying to protect our quarterback now.
2nd and 25. Cole airing that one out. Dozier has that ball tipped off of his fingertips and falls incomplete. Miles Young on the play. That ball fell at the feet of Fred Adams. That'll bring 3rd and 25 up. 2 more shots to move the sticks.
3rd and 25 is a hard play call, but you got to find a way. With 44 seconds, down by 8, 44 seconds left. You got to find a way to get at least half of it now.
Cole drifting back. Backside pressure. Ball is out. And Coastal's got it. Ball game at the Rock. The Coastal Carolina Chanticleers have come all the way back. They force a fumble on the last play. Knocked the ball loose from Cole for the 2nd time today. And this time it cost the Mountaineers the game.
Tell you what, again,
Arinze was the one that got him.
And Arinze was the player that Jeremiah Johnson, the defensive coordinator, talked a lot about this week. I mean, he said he's a heck of a ball player, and he shows it. Big-time players make plays at big times and in big-time situations. And Noah, 6'6", 272, does a great job of putting pressure and knocking that ball loose from Cole.
Zeke Campbell in on there as well. If this holds, this will be the 4th straight win for Coastal. Or that 3rd win under Beck.
He's won 2. Yep. This will be 3, and he'll be 3-0 versus the Mountaineers.
Take the knee. And Samari Collier, how about his effort today? 118 passing, 74 rushing, ran the offense, Avery. And that was a big question mark coming into this. What kind of quarterback play would Coastal Carolina get? They got enough to win the ball game.
Well, and again, you know, it's a situation where kudos to Coastal Carolina's coaches, because they knew what they had in their personnel. And they knew they worked within their personnel to find a way to be effective and efficient as an offense. Hey, keep in mind, Hollingshead wants to throw the football, but he knew today to win this football game he had to run it. And kudos to them for using the personnel and using their personnel wisely to be successful here today.
Coastal Carolina keeps the pressure on James Madison. They move to 3-1 in league play. 2 straight now for Tim Beck's crew as they improve to 4-3. Avery Hall, your final thoughts on what was a barn burner here at the Rock?
You know what? Good football game. Didn't come out the Appalachian way, but it was fun to watch. Again, Appalachian, you know, can learn. Again, defensively, I was shocked that they scored 40